SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, we're here. Good morning, viewers around the world. Good day to you, wherever you may be. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajua, and I'm here with who are the wonderful people with me here?
Well, it's such a wonderful morning. Welcome everybody.
Yes. Also, yes, Big George, you're welcome.
George from Canada. All of you.
It's good to have you, George. George, somehow the voice echoes. I don't know. We can hear you like it echoes. I don't know if it's my end, but who's there with us again? There's the diva with us.
Hello, our viewers all around the world. Good morning. Good to have you again here today. Sir George, massive Mark, good to have you guys. Let's do it like always.
Nice. You guys are welcome. BD, it's been quite some time there. Hope Lagos is doing well. Is the weather and every other thing, conditions on ground, how is it going there in Lagos, Nigeria?
Well, we are surviving. That's just all I can say. We are surviving.
Mm-hmm. But we need to go beyond survival. I tell you, we need to go. All right, gentlemen, welcome again. The early morning yesterday, we had that news of Taiwo Oyedele, that former, I think he was in charge of the tax, budget and national planning, has now become a minister of state for finance. BD, is he being compensated for arranging the tax law and all of that? What is this story about Oyedele coming in as the minister of state?
Yeah, Oyedele coming in as a minister of finance on states has raised a lot of controversy. That's what is going on in Nigeria. People have been talking about it. There has been replaced Doris Ozoka, who is the former Minister of State on Finance. And this is coming when there is an allegation of about 1.5 trillion amount of money is being questioned in the House. And it's still going. The Honorable Mascot Ikweche was the person who Mascot Ikweche was the person who raised that question in the House, asking about the money. And the next thing we saw is replacement. They have moved and when they asked Wale, the Minister of Finance, when he was asked about that money, he said that he doesn't have a full details about that money, that they should ask Doris Ozoka, the Minister of Finance on State, that she should be the one to answer that. And they brought her to the House, and she said, yes, the money is there, and the disbursements, they have not done the disbursement because there are qualifications that the ministers has to sign out. That's what they told us. They has to sign out for them to be able to receive this money. Do you understand? So we are still on that. That is being discussed. That is being talked about. That is being find out how this money is being dealt with. Where is it? Where has it not been? The next thing Nigerians saw is that they have removed the Honorable Doris Ozoka. So a lot of tension is on that issue and that reshufflement now in Nigeria.
Tension on that issue, that reshufflement in the Ministry of Finance. Yes, you called some names there, and we know that also all of these things should be addressed in the House, but they don't seem to be addressing it. At the end of the day, the story might fade out. Nobody will give us any update, no detail on that issue, which is not how governance should be. But let's take it further. The Senate will have to approve Oyedele's confirmation, and he has to be vetted and all of that. But we know our Senate, this present Senate, is a rubber stamp, like they would say, rubber stamp Senate. So how do you think anybody will challenge this Oyedele's appointment? Do you think, to just slide through? Is that not
Nobody
so?
has ever challenged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the Senate don't have the right or the power to challenge him. That is what he wants, and he's there. He's already a minister of finance on state, so nobody is challenging it. No one has ever challenged. Yeah, nobody has ever challenged him, and no one is planning to challenge him. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed him, and he is the person, and he's already there because the change has been made. They have moved Doris, Honorable Doris Onoka. They have moved her to strategy and budget planning. So the change already has been made, and it's been approved. So asking that will Senate approve or not, no, nobody is talking about that. What President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants as a president of this country is what he gets. Yeah. So we are not talking about the approval.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. You were able to tell us more on that, the money misappropriation and all of that. Good one. But also let's have the update. Has that tax law been enforced? Do you guys pay tax? Is that tax being deducted from people's accounts, people's money? What's the update on the tax? We know they probably might have calmed the storm, but they probably might have reduced enforcing it because of campaign season, and the man wants to look good before 2027. What do you think?
I don't think so, because people have been complaining some of the deduction they are getting in their account. Even me, I've been getting it, and it's been there. But Nigerian thing, we lie a lot. They're still telling us that they've not started it, but it has been started. Yes, because let me tell you now, only in a VIO, vehicle inspection listing, that on the road, when they arrest you and you go to the office, after legalizing and updating your papers, you must enter. The tax office is in every office in Lagos State. Let me tell you the one I know. You enter the tax and you must pay. You must pay before they can attend to you, and it's a must for everyone. It's not just me saying this time around. It's a must for everyone.
It's a must for everyone. Okay. Yeah, Big George.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud now. We see you clear also. You look good there. You look good with your dark frame and your white birds. All right, George. George, it's some serious discussion going on. We're talking about the replacement of the Minister of State, the young man that has also been placed there. He's called Oyedele, Taiwo Oyedele. Taiwo Oyedele, viewers, is the man that has become the Minister of State for Nigeria, the Minister of Finance. He hails from Ikare in Akoko area of Ondo State. He's an economist, actually. He's an accountant and a public expert on policy. And he's 50 years old, attended Yaba College of Technology in Lagos. George, he's the new Minister of State for Finance. Is it a compensation for the job he did on tax reforms?
Well, it could be. If you're good in what you do, you get promoted. But the problem that we are having is that we really need to talk about. You know, if we're talking about democracy and a fair chance for everybody to exist, as of early 2025, analysis of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appoints in, Tinubu's appointments indicate a significant concentration of individuals from the southwest geopolitical zone. We need to understand this, because if you gotta be a fair president, you have to represent largely, the whole entire nation, not only ethnic representation, but also geopolitical zones and the states. So what we're seeing here is largely Yoruba people are the ones in, major positions that are with him. It's generating a lot of debate. And then what is happening in the world is why the Southwest leads in certain key categories. The administration maintains that appointments are based on merit and distributed across all 6 geopolitical zones, but it's not fair, because what we are looking at also is, the type of positions people are being held. Key findings on appointments as of April 2025, top positions of the Big 8. Okay, reports highlight that key financial and security apparatus positions, including the Chief of Staff, Army Chief, Custom Boss, CBN Governor, EFCC Boss, and NNPC Boss, have been heavily concentrated or entirely filled by the individuals of Yoruba origin. So if you talk about merits, that you appointing people by merits, is it that other geopolitical zones, they don't have the kind of education that is needed or the experience that is needed to be appointed in these big positions? So if you look at it, Northwest have 36 positions, that is 23.7. Southwest, 29 positions, 19.1%. So North Central is 25 positions, 16.4. Northeast, 24 positions, 15.8. Are you talking about Southeast? Have only 16 positions, 14.5. So what we are looking at, now this is South, but Southeast is only 10.5. So look at the whole entire geopolitical zones. Only the Southeast is represented by 10.5. And yet we are looking at it. He's taking a position from somebody from Southeast and giving it to another Yoruba person. We need to really discuss this, because the president, if you want to be re-elected fairly, you got to go back to the drawing board. Because, you see some of these regional groupings, some analysis aggregate this into a broader region, showing that while Southwest has the highest representation for a single zone, in some data sets. So if you combine the whole entire thing, there are some other areas that are being marginalized. And this is something that needs to be called upon for the president to go back to the drawing board. Because when you go back and see, you will see that the people that are being marginalized are more intelligent than the rest of them, more educated than the rest of them. So what are you going to say about that, Mr. President? So let's look into that and make sure that there is a balanced and fairly equitable way of, filling these positions. We know you want to surround yourself with people that you trust, but yet that doesn't mean that they must have to come from Southwest. Nigeria is one nation. It's one Nigeria. Therefore, let's be fair and let's be equitable in the way we're doing things.
Let's be fair, let's be equitable in the way we're doing things. So, viewers, what we're discussing is the appointment of the young man Taiwo Oyedele as the Minister of State for Finance. And George is saying that the distribution of offices is not balanced. One side of the political zone is getting more nominations, more appointments than the other sides. And we also
what's this, John? What's this?
Okay.
Yeah. But this being debated.
Yes.
Critics argue that the concentration of Yoruba individuals in the key sensitive positions in the finance, petroleum, defense is unprecedented, with some calling it 100% Yoruba lineup in the top 8 critical roles.
Yoruba lineup.
It doesn't look good on the president at all. It does not look good. We
Does not
need to change it.
Yeah, so added to what you've said, Nigeria is zoned into six geopolitical zone: southeast, south, southwest, north central, north east, northwest, and north south. So it has to be balanced. And yes, George, what you said is so true. You can't say there are nobody in all of these geopolitical zones. I mean, yeah, we have Nigerians scattered abroad in all the spectrum of any endeavor you can think of: science, technology, finance, media, whatever you think of. Everybody has somebody in all of those zones that could be representing at that level. So it's really something to ponder on. I didn't look at this until you said so. Thank you, George, for that notice. Thank you also for your views on this. George, also, let's talk about another Nigerian story that caught my interest. The president has ordered the immediate release of funds for space assist maintenance. That means Nigeria is looking into going to space very soon, or planning to be joined with one of these big countries that go to space. You think it's a worthy arrangement? Will it help us, or is it a waste of fund if we've not done the petty things that should be done inside Nigeria? Electricity, all of those issues. Now we're thinking of space, outer space.
You can think of space how you want to. You're going to the space when your country is downtrodden with darkness. Mr. President, you made a comment before you were elected that if you are not able to deliver electricity 24/7 in Nigeria, that you do not qualify to run for second terms and nobody should vote for you. You say that out of your own mouth. And we have actually came out several times to say, light up Nigeria, you can, and you are the only one that can, to have the political balls to do so. But you have refused for some reason. And now you want to go to space and squander trillions of dollars or naira that we are going to be using to install electricity or increase our grid. You made a promise and you have failed. So we are calling upon you. I'm an APC member, and I'm calling upon you, Mr. President. Give us light in Nigeria. There is no need to, extend your arms and tentacles, into space when the industries are suffering, the hotels are suffering in Nigeria, restaurants are suffering in Nigeria because of lack of light. Insecurity is increasing because of lack of light. Give us light. It will increase the productivity in our country. Or even look at the countries that we are supplying electricity to. They have 24/7 electricity, but Nigeria that is supplying it is not. Is this like a conspiracy that is going on, that we don't want our nation to increase in our productivity or to help the nation as a whole? And look at what you just did. You taking the Aso Rock out of the grid and using solar system there, and then leaving the rest of the nation to stay in darkness. Mr. President, we are calling upon you. Election is around the corner, and this is the time that the rubber will meet the road. Please give us light in that country. You can. All this money you're wasting to build a road to nowhere from Calabar to Lagos, that money would have been used to increase the grid. If you cannot, find other countries that you can pay, or let them come and install this grid for us so that we can pay them until they get their money. Then they can, when they get their money and their profit, they go. So the other countries are doing it. Why is Nigeria lagging behind? Why are we lagging behind, for goodness sake? It doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
In 2026, we're still talking about electricity. Look at Ghana. Look at Ivory Coast. Look at neighboring countries. They're not going through what we're going through. Why is Nigeria so stagnated in this area? When we know that if light is given to Nigerians, we will see productivity increase. We will see a lot of sectors will bring more money to the coffers of the nation. So it doesn't make any sense to me, because we are starting by watching. Just simply because I'm an APC member does not mean that when I see the truth that I will not speak truth to power.
That's
So we
correct.
need
All
to
right.
call your attention to these things, and it
Yeah.
must be attended to.
True. Very good. So,
Right?
George, yes, you said it so well. Going to space should not be our priority now. I mean, every government should have priority. The electricity is more of a priority. And do you know the interesting thing? I'm a space enthusiast too. I follow space issues and uh,
So
discuss.
you're one of them.
Now,
You know, one of those Nimrods, that want
yeah,
to build
whatever,
a
whatever.
Tower of
Yeah,
Babel to heaven.
no,
And so
no, but
that's the
what I
thing
want
that
to say,
is.
is, when you that's space, that aspect of human endeavor, you need electricity, heavy powered electricity to follow up. You can't be in space and the control room because there's a control center where they watch and they follow things. All the you can't be there and be using this electricity that will go off and on, and everything is well arranged. Electricity is running. You don't even talk of electricity going off. It's running. It runs all through. So Nigeria should not be talking about space if we've not fixed our electricity. We should not
Now,
be
it
talking.
is, watch this though. Watch this. The way
Mm-hmm.
that they are now doing it is whether you receive light or not, you still get paid. You will still pay you will
Okay.
still pay. Can you imagine?
Can you
You're
beat
paying for
that?
darkness, and if
Can
you
you beat
don't, they will
that?
disconnect you
Can you
permanently.
beat
The
that? Okay.
little percentage of light that you get, you're paying for
Mm-hmm.
the whole entire thing. They call it, averaging. No, it's not supposed to be so. We need to get meters that will read accurately how much light each person is getting, and they
Yeah,
pay according to usage, not according to
that's it.
averaging. That
Not
is something
according
that
to
we
average.
need to go back to and make sure that it is fixed. Because all these little foxes are what is destroying the nation. And we're looking at it, smiling and suffering all at the same time.
Smiling and suffering all at the same time. So, viewers, we're talking about what the president has directed his administration to do. He says he
So
has directed the immediate release of fund for space asset maintenance, and that means that he has approved this fund for that maintenance of Nigerian space assets. And they say it's in line with the space policies and programs that they have. But we are saying categorically that Nigeria should not be talking about space if we've not fixed our electricity. All
it's
right,
been
George.
20, it's been 25 years. It's a 25
Mm-hmm,
years roadmap during the inaugural National Space Council meeting that they had. Okay. Now,
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
renewed push will integrate space technology into border security, disaster
Mm-hmm.
early warning systems, and precision agriculture, ensuring the program delivers tangible value to citizens and policymakers. Oh, that's what they are, saying. Now,
Yeah.
another thing also, the council greenlight the operationalization of the Ahmed Tinubu Space Center in Epe. So that's the reason why he's doing
Okay.
this. Designed to
Yeah.
give Nigerian autonomous satellite launch and maintenance capability while introducing competitive staff packages to curb brain drain. So, I mean, we're seeing all these things that are causing people to run away from our country. The people that are educated and know that they're qualified to do certain jobs, they're not getting jobs. Industries are not
Mm-hmm.
coming into Nigeria, and nothing is really happening, and the brain drain is taking place. And I remember one of the cabinet members who came out and said, if you're going to go, go, as if the country belongs to them alone. So these are the little things that we need to fix in that country in order for our country to run smoothly. Let's pay attention to the people's needs.
Let's pay attention to the people's need. Hmm.
It is important. Very.
Nice. Thank you, George. George, before we go to the major news around that's affecting the world, let's just talk a little on some other small issues. The first one is there's this alcohol ban on small pack size drinks that people take. Now, the body that regulates all of those things, NAFDAC, it's called NAFDAC. NAFDAC is saying that they are banning that thing so that it will curb, it will also stop underage from drinking. But is there any way you can escape these youngies, these Gen Zs, and all these group of people we have now from drinking? The alcohol ban on sachet. Do you not understand that? Have you seen those alcohol on
Well,
sachet?
I mean,
Mhm,
if a policy is out there, whereby we are seeing a bunch of our teenagers, students, college, university students, and even secondary school students, able to get away by using certain type of products where they can mask their usage of alcohol. And one of the major problems we have with all of this is we're only talking about them drinking. What about the kidney situation that will happen to so many of them? What about sachets that are not even verified or well orchestrated? The water we're using is not determined whether good or bad. Some of these kids can be dying, because of this usage and without even knowing it. So I applaud NAFDAC for what they are doing, because if this is going to create that particular type of situation, which can exist right now without any repercussions at the moment, but eventually you see these kids dying off simply because of whatever that might have been in that little sachet. And these are young people. If they begin to fry their brain with alcohol at this tender age, how will they turn out? You're going to see a bunch of kids on the streets, winos, walking around. So I applaud them very, very well. Let the people who are doing this, since we don't have liquor stores where only you can go and buy, official liquor from, and they exist in marketplaces and stores, let them change their packaging. It's just as simple as that. If it is not good for the kids, and because they are using it and they are the one, there is no control of, okay, unless you're 22 years old, you can drink alcohol. Kids can go out there and then buy and whatever the case might be, and they might be destroying their lives. So I applaud them, okay? The research uncovered children as young as nine consuming alcohol, with nearly 50% of underage buyers specifically choosing sachets because they are easy to hide, prompting NAFDAC to cite liver cirrhosis and kidney failures as potential consequences. Can you imagine that? Isn't this, don't you applaud them? I think it's a great idea for them to ensure that our kids remain healthy. And if this particular type of product and the way that it's being packaged is troublesome, let's change it.
Let's change it. Good one. So viewers, that's the news coming from NAFDAC there. NAFDAC insists on the ban of sachet drink in Nigeria, and there you go. That's the NAFDAC boss there, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye. She has defended the nationwide ban on sachet drinks, small pack alcohol drinks, describing it as the most effective way to combating cases of underage drinking in the country. So thank you, George. We hope they'll be adhered to, because you have these small retailers that also sell alcohol, and because they want to make profit, they want to make money. Sometimes they don't care who's buying; they just sell to anybody. Oh, let's see that NAFDAC takes it beyond by putting enforcement agents on that ban. Good one, George. So, George,
I mean, we have to also talk about the consequences to the people that are producing this. See, in a situation like this, this is where the government can come in and deal with those companies directly. If they have to give them aids, to help them with curbing the losses that they have while they're changing the packaging and all that kind of stuff. Hey, I don't see anything wrong with that. So government, pay attention. If you are stopping them from producing this because it's causing harm to the children, help them with money to repackage, because you don't want the companies to go belly up simply because you say this, which you did not warn me ahead of time when I was inventing this particular type of packaging for the drinks. So let's do that. Since the new law is coming in, those that are being affected financially, let's try to help them out.
Let's try to help them out. Good one. All right, George. We'll move on to other major stories. But let's, before we come to those major stories, the Iran, US, Israel conflict. Let's take a break, George. Just a few minutes. We'll be back. So viewers, you're tuned into Wednesday edition of Africa, Global Africa SSM News Update. We'll see you the other side. Thank you.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman's soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
To know ADC, you see a handshake, a symbol that stands for belief, passion, ideas, and creativity, service with integrity, confidence and commitment. We are the definition of democracy, your party, for you and by you. Every life is important, every right is respected. We promote friendship, cooperation and collaboration. We believe that when we work together, we make great things happen. With love and respect, we shake hands. Yes, we shake hands. Therefore, we say, ADC arise, ADC arise, ADNC arise and shine.
This message is endorsed by ADC 7th Zone, ADC-DN, African Democratic Congress, Diaspora Nigerians, Diaspora Network.
All right, George, welcome back. Our viewers, you're welcome back to the other part of the Wednesday show, African Updates, Global Africa, SSM. So, George, the whole place is blazing, like Trump will say. The U.S.-Israel war on Iran is escalating. There are some reprisal attacks. There are other things happening also. Surge in global oil price, higher for import cost, and escalating inflation too. Then we're looking also at the Hajj. The 2026 Hajj might not even hold the way things are going. George, what do you have on this update? What's new on this?
Well, what we're seeing is the coordinated U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran have rapidly expanded into a regional war, drawing in more allies and proxies while leaving countries from the Gulf to Cyprus directly in line of fire. Now, this is part of the reason why Iran is being refused to have a nuclear warhead. Because these are people that are not, they don't think when they act. They don't consider human life. We have seen it happen again and again and again. Somebody will be saying, oh, Iran is a sovereign country. Well, why are we attacking them? Why are we destroying their leadership? Their leadership are evil. They are evil. They are the ones supporting Hamas against Israel. They openly condemn Israel and wants to annihilate Israel. And you think you're going to allow these people to, develop nuclear warhead when they can just, look at what they are doing right now. Okay? As much as there is a global, what you call diplomatic divide, there are factions, fractured. Canada and Australia openly support the U.S. strikes. Russia and China criticize them, while the Gulf states condemn Iran's retaliation and assert their rights to self-defense. So what you are seeing is these people that they have no control whatsoever. Their hatred for Israel is driving them to continue to do things that they know they're not supposed to do. They want to develop a nuclear warhead so that when you want to come against them to do anything, that is contrary to the world views, they will just, ignore it. They want to be like US, they want to be like China, they want to be like Russia. But because of the way that they behave and from history, they cannot be allowed to have that. So I applaud the US and Israel for what they did. After killing the Ayatollah and all the members, so many of them, now they gathered together again to bring in the same type of government that they were, that the world is trying to eliminate. And they were also 88 of them were killed.
Yes.
But the question is, if you want to be treated fairly, why not you operate fairly? If you want to be treated civilly, why not you operate civilly? You are sponsoring a whole lot of terrorist groups to go out there and do, unimaginable harm to the world economy, to everything that is happening. And yet you refuse. Look at what happened to the number of people, protesters that were killed and buried. More than 3,000 of them. Come on, man. Are you going to allow such religious, atrocities to be taking place? No, they need to be eyed and they need to be limited. Their capacity in doing certain things.
George, let's come to the whole connection with this thing happening in the Middle East and Africa, Nigeria precisely. Today's Africa update. Now we see the Shia group in Nigeria protesting. We see a lot of other groups protesting. Even the man, Asari Dokubo, that South spokesperson, we hear him yelling and talking, and they don't seem to have the story. They don't see things like you just said now, why these people are a threat, are a problem to the world. But and on the other side also, we see the Iranians. Can you imagine? Iranians all around the world celebrating happily, dancing and jubilating, even though a lot of them have lost their families in the protests long ago. So it's interesting, George, that Nigeria is carrying some Shia members are taking this to heart and complaining, talking, and they won't do the same to the leadership of Nigeria that is even making life worse for them. George, you see. So let's talk about the Nigerian effect. Let's talk about Nigerian effect.
I call that ignorant move because number one, when you ask some of these people that we are paid to go out there and protest, they don't even know their head from their tails when it comes to the global news and what has been going on with this particular country, over the past several years. They've been a country of particular concern for many years, and they have been operating openly, systematically, doing the same exact thing and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. There got to be a regime change in that country if we want to live a peaceful life, especially around that Gulf area. Look at what they are doing. Can you imagine if they have the nuclear warheads to use? They are fighting, they're launching missiles against Israel and against all the neighboring states, UAE, as a matter of fact. What did you do to them? These are sovereign nations, and you are claiming that you are trying to, bomb the places where U.S. stations are.
Yes, in the Gulf, in Kuwait, we had the Kuwait suffered some damage there too. George. Also, let's look at some other issues.
By the way, when we talk about protesting, Yeah, the people have the right in Nigeria to protest. They can protest all
Well,
they want to. But
yeah.
is it going to make any difference? I think it's a complete and absolute ignorance on their own part. You have not protested when the Fulani Islamist terrorists are killing thousands of people. You've not
Mm-hmm.
protested. You've not
Mm-hmm.
protested when they are kidnapping and getting billions of naira. You've not protested. You're not protesting over people that are out there killing others and destroying the world and bringing chaos all over the world. You're protesting. That's stupidity and ignorance, as far as I'm concerned. It's very unfortunate,
Stupidity,
and they need to stop that nonsense.
stupidity and ignorance.
Yeah,
As
that's what it is. Think
so,
about it.
George. Also, we're seeing higher fuel price around the world. We're seeing inflation also because when these things happen, it has a ripple effect on everything. We know that also Iran has some number of power over that Strait of Hormuz, Strait, where cargoes move, vessels move, and they bring in gas, diesel, PMS, and all of these things, and also take back things to the Gulf. So when there is that stop, because there is now a blockade of that movement, it escalates inflation. It heightens also a lot of things, security and so many things, and also travel. We're in the fasting period, the Ramadan, and there's supposed to be those pilgrim activities going on now, people going to Mecca. George, don't you think all of these will be halted this year? Because Mecca
Well,
will not.
if it's halted, let the Muslim nations come against Iran and tell them to calm down. That's what it is. Because we cannot allow these people to be, causing chaos all over the place in the Middle Sea. Gas prices are rising. They say when the elephants are fighting, it's the ants that will suffer because they're going to be stepped upon. It's the regular people that are suffering. We have not recovered from the pandemic, and then still all this nonsense is going on. Well, anyway, what you're seeing is the beginning and the signs of the third world war that is going to take place, because it will definitely come. And if these are the kind of people, if you allow them to get nuclear warheads, then you don't even know what will happen, because somebody will get upset and they're going to call it, jihad. When they die, they're going to go and meet 7 virgins when they die. So to them, dying is nothing. So how can you negotiate, like Dr. Femi would say, how can you negotiate with somebody who actually doesn't care much about their lives? And this is what we're seeing here. So we need to really, when we can, I applaud Trump for carrying on this, and I applaud Benjamin Netanyahu for trying to save their lives, because these people are crazy. They don't think like us. They're not normal folks, and we have to normalize them. The public is happy because this thing is happening in Iran, because they saw the number of their family members massacred, killed, on more than 3,000. The numbers are not even accurate yet because they're reducing it. They're being conservative in the number of people that are being reported. This last year alone, they killed thousands, and they started eliminating a lot of people that were in prison. Can you imagine that? So only one person can bring judgment, and everybody will they will kill them. It is not
So
fair.
that means the Khomeini is now meeting with his 7 virgins and all
I
of
think
those
there are 7 virgins over there.
officers.
Whatever that is.
Even Imam Ahmad Majad, the former.
Was he involved? Was he killed also?
Yeah, he was in that circle of meeting. 48 of them were taken out, that initial one. And when the new leader came in, they took them all out again. So.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it if you get in your car, bro? If you get in your car and you want to go from Milan to Venice, and you've been driving for the past 26 or 40 years, you've not reached your destination. Isn't that time enough for you to check and say, is my GPS correct? Is the way I'm thinking, is it correct? You know that these people are greater than you. You saw what they did in Beirut. You saw what they did to the Lebanons, where their telephones that they were using killed
Yeah.
thousands of them. You
Exploded.
see
Yeah.
that technologically they are way advanced more than you. And yet you continue to go after them and they continue to eliminate your leaders. And you don't want to stop that nonsense. Isn't that insanity? Continue to do the same thing and expect a different result?
George, also, there's an issue now. You called some countries that are in support, but many other countries are not in support. Europe is also struggling to speak as one body on that issue. Some European leaders have their views, some others have their views. So there's confusion. But what do you think will they all reason this together eventually, or will there be divisions and probably make it escalate to another level?
They better get themselves together, because the reason why this is taking place, they all know. They are seeing the effects of it right now, and they have been noticing it in the years past. See, because when Hamas and some of these other terrorist groups go into the sea and begin to hijack and interrupt the movement of goods, what is that doing to the world economy?
What is that doing to the world economy?
Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are zipping your mouth or don't want to talk, openly, simply because you're having a back road relationship with Iran or whatever the case might be, get yourself together. Because these people, they need to be stopped, or else they will continue with the type of mess that they are doing around the world. And most of you will not be able to do it. And you got a man who is able to step up and take care of this by himself, and you want to come and condemn them? No. We are saving lives.
We are saving lives. Okay.
We are saving lives.
So let's see how the Europeans and the world leaders all come together to nip this whole thing. Well, it's not nipping on the bud again, because they've gone far in their evil acts also. Anyway, George, this is it. I don't want us to stretch the day. You've done so well giving us the updates, and we've looked at major issues. But George, some other things still continues. We're also seeing some other issues in Nigeria, the politics in Nigeria, and all of those talk on electoral amendments and all of that. But we'll come with that some other time. So, George, what do you have?
Some other time. Before we go, by the way, one thing that I want us to understand, there are ways of doing things. There are set ways, constitutional ways of doing things. And then we mask it sometimes, we dance around it sometimes, we beat around the bush, that we're doing it sometimes. But the bottom line to it is this. If you understand the dynamics of Nigerian politics, there are so many things, that not that you overlook it, you just can't do nothing about it. Okay? So, yes. If you go to Iran, if they start operating in their democracy, they will inject their culture and their religion into it. And this is how it is in many other places. Nigeria is a country with, diverse ethnic groups and different people that came together to become United States of Nigeria. That's what I call it. So now, there are certain things that will happen. Like, say, for instance, Tinubu deciding to employ a bunch of, or to appoint a whole lot of Yorubas because he trusts them. Because they are his people. A few years ago, when Buhari was doing the same thing, firing Igbos and replacing them with Fulanis, nobody said anything. So, I can say Tinubu try to be fair to the Southeast. Because they are the lowest when it comes, only 10.5 when it comes to the ratio of appointments. Be fair to the South. That's all I'm going to say. Because we need to really change the narratives and the way the things are being done in our country if we want peace to reign.
Yes. Be fair to the Southeast. That's the word. The key word today. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration look more into the non-partial zoning of Nigeria. Be fair to the side that needs to be included. It's an inclusive government. It's not a one-sided government. Nigeria is comprises of different regions, like George said, different diverse people. So carry everybody along. That's a key factor in leadership. George, what you were raising your hands?
Let me tell you something.
Right.
You know the saddest part of this whole entire narratives that we are bringing out here. If Peter Obi was to be elected tomorrow to be the president of Nigeria, he will not do what is being done, what Buhari did or what Tinubu is doing.
Yes,
He will
that's
still
what
go across the board to
that one is
appoint balanced people by pure merit. The people that can do the job very well. Not because, you know, Yoruba or Fulani or whatever, that I'm going to bring you in, whether you qualify or not. That is the saddest part of it. You will see that Peter Obi will not appoint all Igbos, just like what is happening in his cabinet. He will go and search for the most qualified and put them there to do the job. That is the saddest part of it.
So that's it, George. Good talk there. Based on data, like you said, from 2024 till now, the Southeast geopolitical zone has consistently received the lowest number of federal appointments. Consistently received the lowest number of federal appointments compared to other regions. And we are calling out the president to look into that. We know he knows what he's doing. He intentionally picks his people, but reconsider that. And
Mr. President is the most astute politician in Nigeria. There is deliberate move that he's making. He calculates and he moves. So he needs to be fair to the Southeast.
He needs to be fair in his appointments. Thank you, George. George, let's go. We'll come back again. Thank you for hanging out.
Yes, while we are going, we just want to also continue to pray for our president, okay, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, for God to continue to grant you wisdom.
Yes.
And understanding in order to rule and to fairly bring an even level ground for everybody to operate in. And we are praying for the senators. We are praying for the House of Representatives, but the states and the chiefs and everybody else, that Nigeria will live in peace, and that paradise that God promised us, that we will soon reach it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, BD, we lost you. You know, it's an electricity issue, and that was some of the things we said here. Nigeria talking about space arrangement when electricity is not settled. People can't have one full day of electricity, just constant, steady. So, but what are few words you have as we begin to wrap up?
On which there are lots to talk on which of the topics?
Yes, we talked about the Nigeria going to space. Bola Ahmed Tinubu giving an instruction to release fund for space asset maintenance. He said that there are assets in line with the national space policies and program. So he wants fund to be released into that. So, but we were saying, should we be talking about space when electricity is not settled? Space has to do with strong electricity. It has to be constant. It has to be tangible.
That's the challenges of Nigeria. Yeah, actually, the president has actually approved that the funds should be released. Like you said, we are a country that have what we call misplaced priority. Our attention, if they tell you the amount of money that has been released for this space, why are you talking about electricity? In Asorok, in Abuja, they are using solar. And this is the same president who promised Nigerians electricity. He said it, if I don't give you people electricity, vote me out. And he has not given Nigerians electricity. He has not even given himself electricity. In Abuja, in Asorok, they are using solar. They have spent billions of money for solar. And he's still pushing for coming back. And he has not lived up to what he has promised Nigerians. So that's the situation we found ourselves. We always have misplaced priority. We're talking about space and we're spending billions of naira on space while an ordinary Nigerian don't have good electricity. So that's the situation we have gotten ourselves in this country.
Thank you. So also, let
me tell you something, Biddy. If this man, our president, will concentrate only on making sure that the whole Nigeria is lit up, Do you know that nobody will ever forget him? He will leave a legacy and a mark that cannot be erased for generations to come.
Thank you.
I don't know what is happening to us. While you are sitting there, you know exactly the main problem that Nigerians are having. Everybody is crying for generations and nobody is paying attention to it. What is really going on? Is there juju they are doing to their minds when they get in there? Because I'm quite sure he knew what he was talking about when he made a promise. If I'm not able to deliver electricity to the whole entire Nigeria, don't vote me for the second term. Is there something that happens to them when they get into Aso Rock? Because I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, there's
This
something
actually can give him a legacy, stamping on the map of Nigeria, on the whole entire Nigeria, as the best president ever since 1960. And yet it's being ignored. Why?
Oh, there. All right. Thank you very much. So we lost Biddy again. Let's go now.
Okay.
I wanted her to just give her own views on those things we said, but she's gone off. It's all good. Thank you.
Is this something we're talking about?
Yes. Electricity. We need electricity, stable electricity in Nigeria. Nigeria, this is that time. Let's leave other trivial matters and focus on this electricity issue. Till we'll come again on Friday. George, have a beautiful hump day. Bring us updates on what's happening. Canada supporting what is happening and all of the news on Friday in the international affairs. Until then, bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.